I was indicted 5 or 6 times, 2 federal racketeering cases, one brought on by I was acquitted in that case. My name is Michael Franzese, and I am a former member of the Colombo organized crime family, Mafia. I was inducted into the family in 1975. My dad was the underboss of the Colombo family in the 1960s. I came in as a soldier. After about 5 years, I was elevated to the position of capo regime, or captain. Spent almost 25 years in that life. You know, throughout the years, I've seen there are a lot of misconceptions about this life. Sometimes the movies dramatize things that are not really reality of that life. And right now, we're going to get it straight. Here are 5 things the game Mafia gets right about my former life. Number 1, Tommy is chased to Salieri's bar by some mobsters. Other mobsters from a rival family appear to protect Tommy, resulting in a standoff.
How you doing, kid? Dino, Lou, you got business with the Don?
Nah, we just trying to talk to that cabbie over there, that's all.
That right.
Normally, members of other families, they never really went to war with each other. Anytime there was a war in that life, it was a civil war for power within a family. I actually lived through 3 civil wars within our family, power struggles. The first one, I was only a kid. My father was heavily involved in that. And then I was myself through 2 wars. Very often it results in violence, you know, people shooting and killing one another. During the last Persico Arena War, I believe 13 of my former associates were killed, shot and killed, and about 29 others went to jail for basically life.
Well, then maybe you ain't leaving at all.
And there are times when you can protect somebody from a rival family. There are times when someone from a rival family can switch families and get into yours.
Thanks. Least we could do.
Yeah, and this is something that this game captures very well. Number 2.
Buongiorno, Vincenzo.
Ciao, Polly. Oh, she's gonna sing.
Paulie introduces Tommy to Vincenzo, who runs the Salieri gang armory. Vincenzo gives the gang bats and Molotovs for the express purpose of property damage. Well, property damage at the time was certainly a method that was used to extort people, scare people. If a restaurant didn't want to go along, let's say with a union deal that we wanted to put into play, the restaurant could burn down. I mean, there was a situation where I was in the gas business and we had rival people in the business that didn't want to deal by our terms, so we blew up their gas tanks at their gas station. So yeah, I would say that they suffered some property damage, yes. I certainly know of, you know, instances in my former life when we had weapons, guns, ammunition stored in someone's house. And I guess if you have enough ammunition and guns there, weapons, it could be considered an armory. So yeah, I mean, that's very realistic. The game captures that. Number 3.
Hey, boss. It's done.
No trouble?
Yeah, nothing we couldn't handle, Mr. Salieri.
Good, good. Sit down.
Salieri gives a speech about loyalty to Tommy. The scene ends with Tommy being inducted into the family. We know the stakes are very high in that life. When I became a made member, Halloween night, 1975, I took an oath with 5 other gentlemen. That night I was told straight out, if I betray the brotherhood, I betray my brothers, that I would die and burn in hell like the saint that was burning in my hands when I took the blood oath. You know, you understand in that life that you have to play by the rules, and if you don't, you got to realize there's serious consequences. The 5 other men I was inducted into the family with on Halloween night, 1975, not one of them are alive today, not one died of natural causes. Every one of them were murdered. So with respect to, you know, respect and loyalty in that life, this brotherhood, the game is very accurate in depicting that.
Excellent. Now I'm starving.
Number 4.
Know where I can find the manager?
I just watched the door, pal.
Tommy enters a brothel in the game. He asks around for the whereabouts of the manager. He's directed to the lounge where he finds the manager making an informal speech. Tommy approaches the manager and relays the message.
Don Salieri sends his regards.
before shooting the manager in the head, and a gunfight ensues. Never betray the family because you will suffer serious consequences. Well, in the game, Tommy assassinates someone publicly. That's certainly not out of the way. You know, as far as, watching yourself, I mean, look, murder, you go away for life, so you don't want to be identified, so it's good to take a precaution. Sometimes people wear masks, and other times people that might have seen this in public are so afraid to identify somebody, and that person then feels secure that, they know nobody's going to cross them. It's a very bold and brazen move, but at times, the mob thinks it calls for that. So even though it's frowned upon, it's not the desirable way, and a lot more hits go, quietly and unnoticed than publicly, but at times it does happen. So this scene would be realistic in that regard. It could happen. Number 5.
I have been looking forward to this all week.
Tommy acts as Salieri's bodyguard as they visit an Italian restaurant. While they're being served, a hit squad shows up and launches a massive attack with various weapons.
Shit, watch out!
Just like we see in this game, attacks like this could very well happen, and sometimes quite often. A boss in that life, believe it or not, is a very volatile position. In my experience in 25 years in that life, I never seen the boss travel alone. He always had his underboss or his consigliere, or in some cases, I was a capo regime and I drove my boss around. I've never seen a boss alone. And in some cases in our life, when that did happen, Albert Anastasia sitting in a barbershop by himself, and he was assassinated. The most obvious attack that I saw is when, John Gotti planned the assassination of Paul Castellano. Paul Castellano happened to be with his bodyguard, but they killed both of them as they exited their limousine in front of Sparks Steakhouse in New York. Boss probably should have had a little more protection at that point. Well, unfortunately, throughout my 25 years in that life, people that I knew, that I was close to, they met with their demise, they made mistakes. If you're a made member of that life, you took the oath, you're a made member, and you die of old age, and you die free, you've really accomplished something. Yeah, I see Tommy was inducted into the family, and I'm asked all the time, is there anything about that life that I miss? Height of my operation, I was selling 500 million gallons of gas a month. There were times when we were making $8 to $10 million a week was coming into our operation. I had it going on. I had jet planes and helicopters, and I had, plenty of cash, and those aspects you miss. I mean, I'll never go back to it, but yeah, I do miss some parts of that life. Welcome to the family. Mafia Definitive Edition lands on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One September 25th.